Now we have this stub that we haven't coded yet. So we have to take that stub data and we have to throw it into a byte array. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now I can't finish this line of code up quite yet because I haven't coded the stub yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put a quick comment. So basically, we're taking the stub data and we're assigning it to this byte array. Now, we're going to write the stub data to a file. In this method, the first parameter is where you want to write the file, and that, of course, is file name because the user chose it. What do you want to write? Oh, excuse me. I'm used to other coding. The stub, because we want to write that byte array into there. Okay, now that we have the stub data written to the file, we need to write the other two files. So what we have to do is get those two files and put them in byte arrays. So let's do that. This is the argument for this is the path of the file. So go ahead, text box 1, file 2, text box 2. Okay, so basically what this is doing right here is taking the bytes of this path, which the user chooses via the open file dialog, and takes it and puts it into a byte array for us. Now, this is the most important line in the builder. This is taking all these byte arrays and the delimiter right here, the splitter or delimiter, and writing it to, well, rather we're appending it now because we've already written a file. So we're going to append data to it. Where are we going to append it? The file.name. Okay. And what are we going to append? We're going to append the delimiter. And right here, we have to convert our byte array to base 64. That's file 1 data. Now we're going to put in the delimiter again. Then we're going to put in the file 1 name. Now we're going to put in another splitter. Now we're going to put in the file 2 data. Followed by the splitter and the file 2 name. Okay. Now, after that, it's done. So we're going to prompt the user with a message box saying that it was successful. Okay. So that's it for the builder. Go ahead and save this. Now we need to start a new project. Now we're going to start to build the stub. Okay, what the stub basically is going to do is this is the data that's going to be written at the beginning of the file, and what this stub's going to do is separate the rest of the data and then drop that data into a temporary folder, and then execute the data. So you won't need to. It's like you're not even going to need to. This data is just being attached to the file. Like this doesn't even matter right here. You're not even going to see it. So we're going to start off with a try statement, because it's always good practice when working with stubs to do a try statement. It's always when working with stubs and stuff, because if you get an error, it can help you figure out what the problem is, because sometimes you won't get a compiler error, and anyways, it'll just help you. So it's always good to use try statements. Now what we need to do is to get the temporary folder directory, because usually this is where files can be easily written and accessed, and it's usually just a good idea because the Windows doesn't have much security around it. So this is the directory we want to use. So let's do that. Temp directory string equal to my computer file system special directories temp. Alright, so now this is assigned to the temporary folder on the user's computer. Now we're going to make a string array. We're simply going to call it drop. And we're going to assign this string array with the split of the code that's being executed. So and we're going to separate it by the delimiter, which is a splitter string that I had discussed earlier. You have to make sure these are the same. These are the same string with your stub, because then it won't work. Very important part. So split function, very powerful. So the first thing right here is basically what string do you want me to split, and we want the split function to split basically all the data inside the application that's being executed, basically split itself. It says what is the delimiter that you would like me to split it out at. What points do you want me to split it at? I want you to split it at this point. Every time it comes across this, put that into an array. Okay. So now that we have that split, we have to convert our our strings back into a byte array. So let's go ahead and do that. Now remember that we converted it to base 64, so now we have to convert it back, and it's going to be in this array element. This part might be somewhat confusing, but if you go back and look at the code before, it'll clear it up. Look at that important line that I brought up before, and then